I'm the printer at the Letterpress Collective. When I first started, I did a bit more design work, but it's kind of ended up being just predominantly printing, which I love.
Ellen and I are both graphic designers, kind of like 50 years apart almost, probably, or maybe not 50, 30 say. We both were in colleges with a letterpress print department still.
The graphic design course at U is like amazing. They kind of don't let you do any branding. Well, they didn't when I was there. So they kind of let you explore, and they kind of pushed us to use all the facilities. So I was always in the letterpress department, which was quite nice, because at the time nobody used it, and I kind of got a little pass, so I was allowed to go in it in the evenings. I asked the technician there, does anyone do this? Is this still a thing? And he kind of laughed at me and said, no, it's dead, nobody does it.
For me personally, I kind of worked a conventional graphic design career. I suppose first half of my working life was without computers, and the second half was with computers. The second half I just found not as enjoyable, even though it was kind of quicker to do things like artwork. So I just got a bit sick of sitting in front of a screen. So I was kind of looking for a way out, and in about 12 years ago I started doing long bicycle journeys. So I cycled around the coast of Britain and Ireland, which is 6,500 miles, and I photographed makers, craftspeople, a bit like you're doing, and recorded their work with a little digital audio recorder, and then I took still photographs, and I made these kind of funny little slideshows. And they're great, as you'll find, because what happens is, as time goes by, they become sort of valuable because people die, old craftspeople die, and sometimes them talking about their crafts, it's the only time they've talked about it, so it's really interesting. Anyway, I did that, and that left a bit of a mark on me, because what I realised is a lot of makers, a lot of people that make something by hand have a few qualities which are sort of unique to making a craft using your hands. And one is that it's quite slow, which means that you don't earn a vast amount of money, so it's a hard way of making a living. And secondly, they're sort of generally quite humble people. There's a kind of humility about them which I really liked. Every time I cycled away, I felt quite inspired. I felt like I needed to do something different with my life, and so I started thinking about how much I enjoyed working with my hands, making stuff, putting type together.
And then in my third year, my tutor said, come and speak to Nick, which he totally can't remember. And I brought him a cake and interviewed him about his practice and things like that, which, yeah, shockingly I can't remember.
Anyway, so I was here 2 years, and then Ellen sort of came one day with some cake, I think, so she tells me, and that's always a good way in, in my book anyway. And we've sort of been working together ever since.
Today I'm working on some cider vinegar labels. We work with this really amazing couple called they're Wild Cider. They're Becky and Sam, and they've got the cutest little boy. We've worked with them since they started, and we just print these fancy cider labels.
I describe ourselves as jobbing printers, and I quite like that term because it means, in fact, Gutenberg, who invented this process, was a jobbing printer. So he was known as the inventor of printing with movable type, but actually he also had to make a living like we do. So he printed business cards for the baker next door and things like that, much as we do now. So I like that idea of 600 years of kind of doing the same thing in a way. He had a beard as well, Gutenberg, so I'm kind of turning into him gradually. We really like working with sort of poets, writers, illustrators, artists. We do some print work for Richard Long, sculptor Richard Long, who is a Bristol artist. We printed a raffle ticket that was designed by Banksy, which was about a year ago. That was quite nice. So it's an interesting world, I really like it.